what we've really come to understand is it's the hand action that actually drives.
If you have good hands, you know what to do with your hands. So much works back into the body, and the golfer they're empowered when they know how to use their hands properly. Gentlemen?
Okay, well, when we're talking about under, we're talking about the club head going under the forearm, not over the forearm, you see. This is what we call over the top or throw away, and definitely not a good move. When the club head comes under this right forearm, a lot of magic happens. It makes the right elbow and the right shoulder respond correctly. It's not react, it's responding to this hand throw. And in turn, it makes the left shoulder go up. At the same time, while you're just doing this little action with both hands now, you're getting the left side, left hip, left leg really just naturally gets out of the road. The slower I do it, the body responds slowly. But now as I add speed, the faster I throw, the faster the hip goes. It's crazy, but that's simple. If I do it correctly here with this movement, then my hips, the faster I throw, I'm not trying to turn my hip, and it doesn't hurt the back doing it this way. It's a lot less stress on the body. 1, 2, 3.
Lovely.
And it's so it's actually it's good therapy for your back.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Like, knock wood, I don't anticipate. I haven't had an injury in golf, in my entire life of playing the game. And whether that's good fortune or physicality, I don't know. But I do know that the golfers that struggle certainly don't know how to really get the weight of the club working in a position to work in harmony with their body. Rather, they fight it. There's an awful lot of this behavior where golfers are pulling down the club really hard. The mass of the club doesn't get away from them so that they can rotate and use that, just the instinct of being an athlete to get the club on the ball. I mean, when you watch great players, and Arnold Palmer was a beauty, he would always say, swing your swing. Well, sure, there are things as coaches we like to fix. Some things are out of whack. But in Arnold Palmer, he was a strong guy. He had a beautiful grip. He took the weight of the club. He swung it. He put it intently on the back of the golf ball. And it didn't stop at the golf ball. The momentum carried him to a beautiful finish. So he went through a golf ball. But, people have to understand, take responsibility for these things. Train them nicely. Once you train them, it's really easy to go back and visit them for a brief period of time just to kind of make sure that you know exactly what to do with the weight of the club in your hands. It's the only way you can impose your will on this thing is by understanding your hands. In this little seminar here, this little webinar rather, how to go A to B, getting your hands nicely on the club and getting it on the back of the ball, I want to go A to B and smash a driver 300 yards. I'm going to develop my backswing. I'm going to hit this golf ball with quite a bit of intent to do that. And that's a pretty good tee ball there. Maybe a fraction right of center line, but, that's a ball that's carrying, quite a bit out there. 266 reasonable and total of, 293. Not too shabby for standing around here talking with you for a little while.
Yeah, the nice thing is it's repeatable. It's people want to be more consistent. If you have less unnecessary thoughts and you can train, it's a lot to do with the drills. If you train this in with a very simple drill like this one, it's not long before you get rid of any over the top or any pulling action. You really start to get the release in the right direction. So once you can get your hands doing it, then it's very nice to be able to go a little bit more speed. What you said there, when you go a little bit faster, the body responds as it should.
I'll ask students all the time. I'll say, I'm going to hit a shot. What do you see? And they'll say, well, I see a nice shot. I see a nice swing. I say, thank you. But they don't know what I feel. They don't know my intent. And so this webinar is just to kind of express intent so people understand some structure and some forces that aren't visible. You can't see it. You see the outcome. You see the pretty golf swing. You see Peter at 70 swinging beautifully. You see those things are what you see, but you don't know what's driving that from under the hood. In this webinar, the intent of that, through these exercises, learning how to get your hands on properly and move the club in a manner that will make your body, or your body actually facilitates beautifully when you have the right intent.
Correct. So if I got one of these alignment rods on the ground. So when I throw correctly with the hands not only cause the right elbow to come in, they make the right shoulder come on that correct downswing path. So to just actually practice that as a drill, to get your right shoulder from the top of your backswing, just to get a little bit down. And then you see when it does, some magic happens from the left side. So if you look at it from this angle, when I go down with the right shoulder, my left hip goes back and the left leg straightens as a result of the shoulder. And so just getting a little bit comfortable with doing that, and then taking the club up, or now in this case I've got my clicker, and then throwing. I'm going to move that just a bit. The ball's there. So I throw the end of this, the equivalent of the club head, at the ball. I don't have to worry about the shoulder. The throw causes the shoulder to go down in the right direction. But if you've got a bad habit of doing over the top, a little drill like that can unlock your body a bit to respond better to your correct hand action.
No, and I think what you've really helped with me, my coaching, my golf school, the Tourist Sugar Golf Academy, and the thousands of people I've coached, is people want to feel like athletes. They want to play golf with very few conscious thoughts. They want to aim the face. They want to have an idea of start line. Then they want to athletically squish the golf ball. So it feels nice and it starts off like a rocket at the target. There shouldn't be a great deal of a huge checklist of things to do. And when you give your hands the responsibility to behave properly, you train it in a little bit of practice, and Peter's got a great program for you to spend time on the range to do that, then you can go to the golf course and be pretty clear-minded and say, okay, what's my target? What's my distance? Here's my athletic event. This can get the club, the face on the ball beautifully, and my results are rather pleasing.
Correct. It's basically any thinking, really, any real thinking should occur when you're doing the drills, because the drills will build the skills.
Love it.
And we've got a coach's drills mastery program just about to start this coming week for all those that would like to join. And that's where we really make sure you can do the drills correctly, because doing them correctly gets the good result. Not doing them doesn't get a result, but certainly doing them not the right way won't help either. So the drills will build the skills. And I think the simplicity is when you get to the golf course, you don't want to be thinking about your drill. You don't want to be thinking about, all you want to be thinking about is there's the golf ball. Have your routine that'll let you line up to where you want to go. Know where your target is, and then your major purpose now is to hit the golf ball. That's your target. And when you swing with that aggression down there, it's amazing, and I'm surprised myself at just how easy it is to finish in that balanced position, so you can see the ball finish where it goes down the middle.
So Peter, here's the thing. You know how many people tell me they can't get through a golf ball? Martin, I can't get through it. And I always joke with them. I say, well, you're not prepared leading to it. Obviously, when you watch Peter at 70 swing beautifully, hit it solid, and trust me, I've played with him. He hits it really, really nicely. And where he's looking, when you send the mass of the golf club and you start it properly with intent on the ball, you can't help but get pulled along beautifully to a finish. It's impossible not to get through it. So, for those of you that feel like you're hanging back, you don't know how to, quote, get through a golf ball, unfortunately, the problem is before that. You don't know how to put your will into the mass of the club to send it in a direction that will get you to that beautiful finish you desire, for the correct swing bottom to touch the ball, brush the grass, rotate into a finish where your friends go, man, you're swinging it really, really nicely.
Exactly. Look, definitely the direction of the down. downswing produces the end result. If your downswing is out of path, you'll naturally, first of all, you get cramped up. The second thing is you won't be free. You won't have the freedom because you know you're not going to hit it straight. So
totally.
Exactly.
Chris, any questions from the audience that we want to touch on before we kind of show people where they can learn more?
What we've really come to understand is it's the hand action that actually drives
If you have
the life.
good